everybody, in my last video I talked about the reasons I was done with Cerakote and moving to powder coat. Today I'm going to walk the walk and get some parts powder coated. Specifically, we're gonna powder coat a bunch of these trays, which will be the first Better Keychains product. My goal is to do 10 trays. I have 9 trays right here in this basket. Those just came out of degreaser and then were rinsed. Now I'm gonna put them in the oven to evaporate off the water that I used to rinse off the degreaser. The 10th tray is the one I showed in my intro, and I powder coated last night as a test. The only problem is I dropped it when I went to take it out of the powder coat oven, and it marked up the coating. So I have to strip it and re-coat it before I can sell this one. I have made a mistake. Remember that basket I put in there with the trays? It had rubber feet on it. I did not realize that. It is now melted to the bottom shelf of the oven. I tried to grab it, but it didn't come out. Anyway, now I just need these to cool down. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna sandblast this guy. Powder coating is not the most exciting of all processes. So throughout the rest of this video, I'm also gonna be talking about some of the branding that's going into this new company, Better Keychains. You may think it's a really weird choice that I'm launching the Better Keychains brand with a tray. And I mean, you have a really valid point there, but for this to make sense, I need to explain the core rules to the Better Keychains branding. Rule number 1, stay consistent with Design the Everything branding as much as possible. Rule number 2, color. Color, color, color. Bold, solid colors. Rule number 3, big white outlines. Rule number 4, no black. Rule number 5, no paracord. Rule number 6, no anodization, no transparent colors. Rule number 7, no plastic in packaging or products. Anyway, all of that was to say that color is really critical to our brand, and you can get a lot of color on these trays. My first tray is in the oven. I'm only gonna have one in there at any given time, because in my testing yesterday, bumping parts into each other inside the oven was how I scrapped a lot of them. Until I have a better racking system, I'm just gonna do one part for process reliability reasons. But while that's cooking, let's start to get some of the other colors staged. The first tray is done and cooling down. It looks pretty awesome to me. I know this is all just wasted now, but it makes me happy. So the yellow ones are done. I think I'm gonna go purple next. So that was a mistake. Lesson learned, check your parts before switching the powder. It's hard to see, but on the inside corner here, I did not get enough coverage, and I'll have to redo this one. That powder in raw form on the part, it just looks delicious, like I wanna eat it. But I may have made a mistake when I ordered that powder. I thought that that purple was just gonna be a solid purple, but looking at it, it might have some white little flecks mixed in with it, and the name of the color is Frosted Grape, which in retrospect sounds like it may have a little bit more texture to it than just a solid color like I had originally thought. The first purple one just came out of the oven. There's a little bit of a speckling to it, but I think it looks fine. Unfortunately, this yellow one here is also not good. I'm starting to think that this yellow powder is just kind of transparent and doesn't do a good job of covering. These are some of the supporting accessories that will go with the carabiners and the Better Keychains product. So all of these products are prototypes. The goal of these little ones is to be a replacement key ring. So there's a key. Does the key go on it? It's a little stiff to go on. Look, it's a key ring. Ooh, so here's an interesting test. I bet I'm not gonna be able to get this onto my car key. Ugh. I could probably do it, but I wouldn't expect anybody else to do it. Okay, and so there's all of my keys on one loop. The thinner key rings I'm not sold on yet, but there's something here, there's potential. So it's fine that this first prototype doesn't work out, because I'm just gonna order more revision. The reason that's possible is because I'm working with a company called Send Cut Send that did this laser cutting for me. If you want to start a physical product brand, you can either go out and buy like $50,000 worth of equipment, or you can have a service like Send Cut Send make it for under $100. All of these parts together were about 75 bucks. I'll be able to sell these loop keyrings on Etsy for about 10 or 15 bucks each, which already pays for all of my prototyping for both products. I'm still undecided on the keyrings, but because they're so cheap and fast, I can just keep iterating until I get something I'm happy with. If you need any parts made, whether they're engine brackets or your own product, SendCut Send is a great place to go. I have a coupon code, which you can find on screen right now and down in the description. If you use that code, it'll tell SendCut Send that I sent you so that they continue to support me. All right, let's get these in the tumbler. So I did not do a good job of filming the powder coating, but I have results to show you. We have 10 trays, 5 colors, and they're beautiful with 2 exceptions. I found some problems with our 2 little blueies here when I was cleaning them. This one I think has some bugs in the coating, and then this one has some speckling from the yellow powder. I'm just gonna have to recoat those 2 blue trays before I send them out, but I can hide those mistakes in product photography, which is what I'm about to do now. So this is my setup. I've got a big piece of MDF that's acting as my table and background. I chose MDF because I'm gonna edit it out and replace it with white, and the MDF is a nice consistent color. I have 1 little photography light there, but then my key light is just the light up here in the ceiling, and I can just move my table around relative to that light to change how the shadows are. And then I can use this light as a fill light to fill in any shadows. I honestly have always struggled with product photography. I mean, you've seen my videos, you know that photography is not my core strength. So we'll see how this goes. I think I'm just gonna time lapse it. So 3, 2, 1, product photography. So I was really struggling with product photos, and then I found a strategy that I think has yielded the best product photo in the history of product photos. Ah!